Hey everybody, it's Nicholas Rogers with the Big Timber! Live coming back every day with another fun and exciting video where we are jumping into budget-friendly optics, and are they really worth your time or money, or should you save up and spend your money on something a little bit more expensive? In today's contender, we have the new GUNNR Optics Heimdall, which is a first focal plane scope that has a 6:24 magnification with a 50mm objective, 30mm main tube, and this is coming in for less than $250.
What?
Now, right off the bat, I will be honest, it says right on the box, made in China, which they also say, though, it has German glass inside of this scope. Now, one of the things that I've noticed right off the bat is this is heavy. I weighed it. It's a heavy girl. It was 31.67 ounces, or almost 2 pounds. But considering that it's a 6:24 magnification range and it has a 50mm objective and it's a solid aluminum body, it kind of makes sense that it's going to be a little bit heavier. It also has 6 steps of illumination, and we'll test that out here shortly. But when GUNNR sent this to me, which they did send this to me, I was kind of just scratching my head. What am I going to use this on? Like, what rifle do I have that I could put that onto? And realistically, I was having a hard time deciding that, but I decided to use my CZ457 Pro Varmint that I've had for years, and just recently put it into an MDT field stock and had it professionally bedded because I want to be able to shoot this out to further distances than 50 yards. I'm currently rocking a 3-12 power optic on this firearm, and when I take it out to, let's say, 100 yards or further, it's just lacking in that magnification range. So I decided, you know what, I think this 6:24 is going to be perfect. So that's what we're going to mount up on this. Now, GUNNR also did give me a Sleipnir uni mount for this optic that's made for the Heimdall. It's a 30mm, uni mount. I don't know if I'm going to use it, though, because I think it's going to end up having the optic sitting too high on the rifle. So I might end up just using the rings that I currently have. I'll figure that out. But yeah, this is going to be interesting. I haven't purchased a scope that's less than $500 in, over 2 decades. So it's going to be really interesting to see whether or not a sub $250 optic can actually stand up to the quality that I expect when I'm shooting my CZ457. So what we're going to do is I'm going to mount this. We're going to take this to the range. We'll shoot a box test at 50 yards, and then we'll take it out to 100 yards to see how well the clarity and the performance is with this Heimdall. Now, I will say too, one of the interesting things about the Heimdall is it is an MOA adjustments, which the majority of optics in the United States are going to be in MOA adjustments, but normally they're in quarter MOA, whereas with the Heimdall, it's actually in 1/8 MOA. So what does that mean? Well, that means typically at 100 yards, if you would like to move your point of impact on, with your optic, it takes 4 clicks at a quarter MOA at 100 yards to move that point of impact roughly 1 inch. So by having 1/8 MOA, that means I'm now going to have to move or make 8 clicks to move the point of impact 1 inch at 100 yards. All right, so first interaction with the Heimdall is, I have to say, I'm actually quite impressed, especially for this price point being less than $250. It has locking turrets. I can't turn the turrets unless I pull up, and then once I do, there's a very tactile click at the zero stop. Can't rotate past that. We'll go into how to adjust the zero stop, and then on the windage, same thing. It has locking turrets. There is no zero stop on the windage, but it's very easy to feel that you've made a click. You could hear it. It's audible. I like that a lot. The parallax adjustment goes all the way down to 10 yards, wow, up to infinity, which is fantastic, especially if I'm doing something with a rimfire or even a pellet gun. that's going to be fantastic for me. It has 6 levels of illumination. The illumination actually looks very good. So this is what it looks like illuminated at maximum illumination, which is the 6th strongest power. And that's with a dark background. Now this is what it looks like with a light background. I've read that it's not truly daylight bright, but it works great for dusk or dawn type situations, which if you're going to be hunting with this, then that's perfect. Now, it's not an LPVO, a low power variable optic, where you really need that daylight bright when you're down at the 1-time magnification, so it almost acts like a red dot. Considering this is a 6 to 24-time magnification optic, I don't really need daylight bright when I'm using this. Also, speaking of that, because it's only a 4-time magnification range, 6 times 4 equals 24, the reticle is very useful at, the minimum magnification of 6. It's readable all the way up to the maximum magnification of 24. It's still very usable and very, very crisp. I'm actually very surprised at how crisp the reticle is at maximum magnification. One of the things that I did notice is at maximum magnification, it does have kind of a smaller eye box. It doesn't have as much eye relief, and you do have to get kind of right on center in order for you to be able to not have any sort of haloing effect going around on the edge of the optic. But once again, it's a less than $250 optic. So, you can't expect Gucci eye relief on something like this. And it looks incredibly clear. So all we have now to do is really just take it to the range and test it out, do that box test at 50 yards, and then take it out to 100. Let's get to it. All right, so I'm at the range. I've got several boxes of some Lapua Center X. I just did a bore sighting on my rifle at 50 yards. We're gonna put the target back down there, and then we're gonna go ahead and just put a group to see where it's grouping at and make adjustments, and then from there we'll move into the box test. Not a bad bore sight at all. So I was aiming here, and I put 3 rounds of Center X right here, and this was at 50 yards, meaning I need to come down 3 MOA and to the left 3.74 MOA. Now I do want to show you, because I am at my zero stop, I can't come down, so I'm gonna have to remove this turret to adjust where my zero stop is at so I can make that down elevation. Okay, so first set of adjustments, dead on. Check this out. Made that adjustment, 3 MOA down, 3.74 MOA to the left, and the next 3 rounds landed dead center. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is a box test. I'm gonna come down 4 MOA, which at 50 yards is only gonna be 2 inches. And then I'm gonna go over to the left 4 MOA, so 2 inches. And I'm gonna place 1 round. And then I'm gonna come up 8 MOA, which will end up being going up 4, place a round. And then to the right, 8 MOA, place a round. And then down 8 MOA, place a round. And then I'll come back to the left 4, and then up 4. And my last round should be touching right here. All right, so this was our first set of 3, and then I made the adjustment down 4 MOA to the left 4 MOA, and it landed here, up 8 MOA, landed right here to the right 8 MOA, and it landed a little high, but that could have just been me pulling it. And then down 8 MOA, landed here, that's where we get the name box. And then we came back to the left 4 MOA and up, and we landed right here. So it tracked. You can't ask for anything better than that when it comes to tracking. So now let's go ahead and shoot some groups, and then we'll push it out to 100 yards. All right, so we got a 5-shot group right here that ended up being a 0.7 MOA. It's holding 0. I say we just go ahead and send this out to 100 and see where it lands. All right, so before I shoot this 5-shot group, I do want to give a shout out to Ransom International, who makes this amazing rest for rifles. They also make a great pistol rest as well, and it keeps the rifle perfectly still and allows you to really just follow right back up and get that crosshair right exactly where your point of aim was on the previous shot. So let's go ahead and put 5 down on paper at 100 yards, top right target to see where we're landing. Adjust my parallax. I can't believe I just did this, but check this out at 100 yards. So we were aiming here. We got a 5-shot group here coming in at a 0.6 MOA, which was better than our 5-shot group, which was 0.7 at 50. So at 100 yards, I shot a 0.6 MOA with this center X in my CZ457. Now it's telling me I need to come up 5.9 MOA and to the left 0.46. So I'm gonna go ahead and make those adjustments and then shoot the same target with 5 more rounds.
Oh my God, out of a game.
All right, folks. So this tracked fantastically from here with one set of adjustments up to here. And we still shot a 0.89 MOA with a 22 long rifle with only a 16.5-inch barrel, outfitted with the Chaos Gear Supply Hydra aluminum suppressor in this MDT field stock chassis system, and this GUNNR Heimdall. Hey, for less than $250, it's freaking perfect. Mwah. Chef's kiss to GUNNR. I mean, I don't know what else to say. Yeah, no, it's already a pain just to get one. Woo! Till next time, everybody. Peace. All right, so I finished up with 5 more rounds of the same box of this Lapua Center X, and I shot right here, and once again, probably a sub MOA group size, but then I switched over to a different lot of Center X because I just wanted to see what the performance was going to be like with a different box at 100 yards. Oh my God, check this out. So this was, you know, the box that I have been shooting, sub MOA. Look how little that is. Oh man, that's close to half MOA at 100 yards with the 22. That goes to show, folks, you need to lot test your ammunition to find out which one's going to perform the best in your rifle. Till next time, everybody. Peace.